I just want to say a few words about the Holy Inventions. I want to introduce Leo Bersamina from San Francisco, Cheryl Edwards of Washington, D.C., Tom Bunnell, also of Washington, D.C., and Ian Jehle of Berlin and Washington, D.C., but now he's in Berlin. Yeah, and the other artist is Caitlin Teal Price, but she was unfortunately not able to be here, but she's the photographer. And so if it's okay, I just want to say a few words about or read a few things from the curatorial statement that was not published in the invitations. That is actually kind of articulating why I picked these works. So I'll just read the first paragraph, so bear with me. I have had the pleasure of knowing Leo Bersamina, Tom Bunnell, Cheryl Edwards, Ian Jehle, and Caitlin Teal Price personally and professionally for many years through the many overlapping roles we hold as visual artists. It is through these many deep and lived experiences I have with each one that inspired the show titled Holy Inventions. Each of these artists are practicing in their art a mindful and creative trajectory that falls within a system of laws that they have designed for themselves over a period of many years. And because of the contrast and similarities between each of their works, I was excited to be able to bring them all together in a space that is so familiar to me. The space of Addison Ripley Fine Art Gallery here in DC, a space that is akin to an art home, where I've had the privilege of exhibiting since 2007 as an artist myself. So I'm gonna skip down. While each of these 5 artists makes reference and reverence to historical canons, each of them have devised and engineered a system of research that expresses a language that for me is holy. So when you look up holy on the internet, it'll come up with 4 very, kind of distinct definitions. 1, worthy of complete devotion, trust, 1, divine, 1, set apart to the service of God or God sacred, 4, respected as sacred. So in this context, it's about trust. Oftentimes when we enter an art museum, we are encountered by that sensibility of worship, akin to entering a church, something sacred. There is the obligatory devotion visitors subjectively encounter as they cross the threshold of the hallowed halls of art history or contemporary art. What I am touching on here with these 5 artists is not the kind of religious holiness or anything transcendent, but rather a grounded connection to their process, through which they genuinely create, that imbues not only authenticity, but trust. So, are you bored? Right. This is probably boring. But, so just a few, I'm just gonna read what I wrote for each of the 4 that are here. So, Leo Bersamina derives his forms from nature. And you know what, I just wanna say that I could write a lot more about all of them, but I didn't want to, again, make this 5 pages. So here's my little take, but there's so much more to be interpreted. So Leo derives his forms from nature and invigorates both geometric and organic patterning with earnest compositions and installations that visually affect the viewer with rhythm and flow. Whether we are confronted by a giant mural or a small painting, Leo's ability to scale up and down and to create multiples is indicative of his responsiveness and ability to adapt his work to the context of where it will live. As an ardent adventurer of the great outdoors, Leo is a witness to the patterns of the natural process of life and death. He seizes these moments to create and invent patterns and energize optically as well as texturally. Tom Bunnell's wondrous motifs over here, and the other larger abstract pieces. He carefully places and shifts within planes of sumptuous colors are complex and poignant. I've always known Tom to be one of my most emphatic painter's painter, making references to modernist artists who have destroyed all notions of illusionistic space and light. He discovers his world from under his eyelids, or the spaces in between and what is not meant to be seen. They reveal a world of beauty, empathy, and poetry with fervent factual existence with every brushstroke he makes. Cheryl Edwards, my dear Cheryl. This is one of her pieces here, and her paintings that are there. Cheryl's potent renderings of Egyptian paddle dolls, enters a multi-level interpretation of what is important to her in reference to ideas of genetic memory as they connect to African and African American identity. Her work depicts the paddle dolls in an ancient form of musical instruments in full chroma, as if they are being shaken to their core and brought back to the present from the ancient past. They are bold, shouting from above, and daring us to care by personifying each of these renderings with an identity, a name, a place and time, a history of consciousness that she makes. Quote, I'm going to quote you, "I have determined in this stage of my art making, post-pandemic, that my accessing of ancestral memories has facilitated a shift in paradigm of consciousness, honestly reconsidering diversity and humanity on a fundamental, foundational level." That was Cheryl's quote. Ian Yaley's mathematical systems of constructing his abstractions, and they're the beautiful smaller works, and then this larger piece right here. This is Ian right here. From the existing machine-made patterns of the masonite surfaces in which he chooses to work off of, recall conceptual artist Sol LeWitt. Like LeWitt, it is the process-driven ethic that matters here. The result of his engineered process is an interplay of color and organic shapes that for him symbolize people and landscapes. Using soft tints and hues, the inherent shards of wood embedded within the material come forth out of the tan monochrome, where they collectively begin to form shapes that reference natural forms from nature in a way to break up the plane. He includes notations of codes that recall symbols from mathematical calculations. So I'm going to stop there because it's a lie, but you can read it here. And thank you. Anyone want to read it? Enjoy. There's some water, I think, back there.